guys, Prowl 1701 here, and today we're going to be doing a tier list for some Star Trek, and we're going to be ranking the Enterprises. So, all the way from the NX-01 from Enterprise through the Kelvin timeline, original Enterprise, we never really got a good shot of the A, through even the Enterprise J gets a little nod in here. So we're going to, I've got these actually in timeline order, I guess would be a better way to put it. And we're going to start with the NX-01, which is a solid A for me. I like this design because it's like retro futuristic. It's like they have to make it somehow look better, at least in their mind, than the original Constitution class ship from the 60s, while still somehow making it look like it was 100 years before that ship. It pulls it off, sorta. I mean, we only have the saucer section with the engines, but we still have the engine. The ship still looks like it was made way past the 60s. But I like the design. It has a simplicity to it I like that we see it get more advanced over the course of the show with instead of having regular torpedoes getting the photonic torpedoes. I like that they have the phase cannons instead of the phasers, and that they have hull plating instead of shields, even though it's basically just shields. That's funny to me. But I do enjoy the design a lot. and think it works pretty well. I enjoyed Enterprise for the most part. The original Constitution class ship from Star Trek, the original series, also an A tier. It's a little dated in places, but it is a really well executed design to where pretty much all of the Enterprises in some way are a variation of this. I mean, some of them are changed drastically, but they still vary off this with a saucer section, a secondary section, usually a net connecting them, and two warp engines. It's a great design that holds up well. People who don't watch Star Trek, if you see a picture of the Enterprise, you know what it is. Same thing with the Millennium Falcon and Star Wars. So while it is a little dated, it is a TV show from the 60s. I think it holds up very well. And then we have, of course, the Constitution class refit, which is the GOAT for me. This is my favorite Enterprise design. This is my favorite Star Trek ship design. I love the Constitution refit. My two favorite Enterprises are the NCC 1701 and the NCC 1701A. The refit of the original, and then the A, of course. I love that design. I love the sensor dish. I love the way the primary saucer looks. The secondary section of the hull has been filled out a little bit. It's got a little beefier. I like the torpedo tubes being on the neck. It makes it look a little more threatening, like it could really just beat the crap out of you if it needed to. I like the fact that the warp nacelles slant back now. It's probably not very structurally sound, I'll be honest, but it looks awesome. Instead of just jetting straight out, like with the original Constitution class look from the 60s, I like how they slant back the way they do. And I prefer the more square warp engines. I wish they had more blue light in them, like some of the other Enterprises do. Although I do love in Star Trek 4 at the end, when it's about to go in the warp, how the engines light up blue. I wish it always did that. I love how the engines light up blue before it takes off. I would have liked to have seen that more with this design. But other than that, I love it. I love the way the lettering is done. I love the way the whole plating looks. I love the way the numbers are spread out on it. It's just my favorite Enterprise. I absolutely love this design. The Enterprise B is also an A. I like the Enterprise B. My only problem with it, and this is where the Excelsior beats it slightly, is I don't like these little flattened sections right here where they squared it off, like they grabbed it and pinched it slightly. I think that looks a little ugly, but I like the Excelsior class design. It's also got some like added stuff on the back here to the impulse engines you can't see, and I love the color layout a little better than I do the Excelsior. I do prefer the B over the Excelsior. I just think this part looks better on the Excelsior. That was one of my favorite things I liked about Generations is we actually got to see the B in action. I think it is a really solid design. The C, I don't like the C. I wish they'd gone with the original design for the C, the one you saw on Picard's wall the first few seasons. This really is just a halfway point between the D and the B. That's what they did. Well, let's take the B and the D and stick them together, and this is what you get, and it's just not pleasant. I just don't get into this design. at all. It just, no, just no. The Enterprise D is only a little better. I don't like the D. The D looks like a pansy. Hi, I'm the Enterprise D. I know I never liked the Enterprise D. It just looks like a pansy. I get it's stronger than the ones we've already talked about objectively, but it just looks like it. It looks like the kid that gets beat up on the playground and has his lunch money stolen. You know, he's the one that's like, "Don't worry, I'll hold your jacket for you while you go talk to the girls." That's what the Enterprise D looks like to me. I was so frustrated when it came back in Picard, like Picard season 3 when they got the D back. I'm sitting there going, because literally my favorite moment of Star Trek Generations is when the D blows up and crashes. A lot of people are upset. You know, young teenager me's over there going, because I never liked that ship. It just looked unimpressive. It just looked like I could walk up to it and go, get out the way, Enterprise D. Never liked this design. I get it's supposed to be more a family friendly ship. Never cared for it. So when it came back in Picard season 3, I was like, now next on the list is the Enterprise E. S tier. I love the Enterprise E. The Enterprise E is a ship that's built to kick ass and take names. That looks like a ship built specifically to fight the Borg. That's what it looks like. It looks like the guy who beats up the kid on the playground and takes his lunch money. It looks like the guy that's like, here, hold my jacket. I'm going to go talk to your girlfriend. Hold my jacket. That's the Enterprise E. That's another reason I don't like Picard season 3, because we don't know what happened to the Enterprise E. They reference it. Well, we wanted to use the E, but we can't. That wasn't my fault. Instead, we got the D. That really irks me because I would have rather have had the E, because the E looks awesome. The E shows up and it's like, hi, I'm the Enterprise E. Is there some asses that need kicking? I'm going to do that. That's what I do. I love First Contact. I love Star Trek First Contact. It's my favorite. It's my second favorite Star Trek movie after Star Trek 4: The Voyage Home. And I just love the fact when it shows up to battle, it starts whooping ass. I absolutely love that. Just the design of it. It looks like it's there to fight. I like how the saucer is more oval than round. I like the yellow sensor dish. That's different. And it's more angular, which I like. I like the fact that the nacelles look cooler and more sleek back instead of the curves of the D. I like the way the warp engines are sharper, like not razor blades, but they almost look like they have sharp edges, like they can swing past and cut you. I don't know. This looks like a ship made for fighting. This is a good ship that you want in the Dominion War. Not that, that. Then we have the F. I don't like the F. I know the F looks kind of like the E. It looks like a cross between the E and Voyager, honestly, but I don't really like Voyager either. The F to me looks like a giant whale. I just didn't get into it. Also, isn't there like a gap right here? I don't understand the structural point of doing that. But what little bit I've seen of the F, it doesn't impress me. It looks like they took the E, tried to make it better, it failed miserably. It looks like a whale in space, you know? It looks like the Enterprise E when it's like 65. It's bloated, it can't fight anymore, can't do anything. Like, imagine this grew into this. It's just unimpressive. I don't care for it. The Strange New Worlds Discovery version of the original Enterprise, I love that design. I don't watch Discovery or Strange New Worlds, but I've seen footage of this ship. It looks cool. I don't really care for the little slits in the nacelles, because structurally that seems kind of dumb. Although just having the nacelles look like that on any of them doesn't structurally seem so. But having that little slit there doesn't really do much for me. But I love the design. I love the way the engines look. I love the impulse engines there. I love the saucer. I really love that design. It's not quite as good as the refit, but it's close, and I do like it better than the classic design. This really is a nice updated version of the original Enterprise. I really, really like that design a lot. I would love to get like some kind of toy of that. Like, I wish they would put out a collectible of the Strange New Worlds Discovery Enterprise, because I love that. If Diamond Select or somebody, Playmate, somebody put that out, I'd be on it in a hot minute. The Kelvin one is average. I don't hate it. I don't really like it. I actually had the 2009 toy of it, and I've talked before about on the channel about how I lost a lot of my books in a fire. This was also one of the things in the fire, and I could have saved it, and I literally didn't. When I was pulling stuff out, now part of that's because I was exhausted. I'd spent days going through stuff because my old room, which I pretty much, because it was the house I was raised in, that I pretty much just used for storage, was the only one that was still semi intact. So I was able to save stuff. Some stuff, not my books, unfortunately, but some of my collectibles that were there, I was able to save. This was there, and I didn't even take it with me. I left it. I just didn't care about it that much. Part of that's just because that particular Playmates toy of it, I think it was Playmates, just wasn't that impressive. But if like a Diamond Select had done one of it, I might have gotten it. It's just, I don't know what it is. It's like if modern day Apple made the Enterprise, and I know people have kind of said that before, but it's really true, inside and out. It looks like if the iPhone was an Enterprise, it would look like this. It's not bad. It's not great. It looks like AI made it. That's the best way to put it. It doesn't look like it was designed by a person. It looked like the chat AI or whatever, if it had existed back then, made it. And then there's the Enterprise J, which is hot garbage. That's just a stupid garbage crap design. Period. I don't just no. And even though the G is not on the list, if the G was there, I think I would have the G in A. Because I do like the G from what I've seen. The Titan A, the Enterprise G, I like that design a lot. Again, I tend to like Constitution class. That new Neo Constitution class looks good to me. I would have it in A. So that's how I would rank the Enterprises. I want to know what you think. So comment down below and let me know. Also, one of the best scenes in all of Star Trek, in Star Trek the Motion Picture, when they reveal the Enterprise. That is an amazing scene. They call it the striptease, rightfully so. That is a glorious scene when you see the modified Enterprise for the first time. So comment down below. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to click the like button and all the other fun stuff down in the description. Links to the Patreon. Links to the Amazon wish list, which I've got some Star Trek stuff on there as well. I'm very much interested in if anyone would like to send that. YouTube memberships are available. P.O. boxes down there as well if there's anything you would like to send me directly. I do want to give a shout out to some of my top tier patrons, Colin Coney, Stephen Crane, and Finn Perkins. I do appreciate their support, as I do the support of all of my patrons. It does make a difference, and it is appreciated. And most importantly, thank you for watching.